girls are forced back because Allison asked them to testify that they are no longer afraid of Charlotte De Laurentiis. And then she dies the night that she's released. And they, of course, become suspects.
We are really dealing with 5 years later and 5 years of experience and maturity.
Physically, they've changed. Their styles have just grown up. They've matured.
They've all kind of upped their game as far as style is concerned, but I think it's pulled mostly from their environments that they're in.
They've been living these A-free lives, and all of a sudden, it's like, bam, back to Rosewood, back together, dealing with this crazy mystery.
When they come back to Rosewood after 5 years, you're seeing the liars kind of at war with themselves. They remember how it used to be. They remember how you did have to sneak around and you did have to lie and you couldn't trust anyone. And they're trying really to reconcile their experiences as teenagers.
All we have to say is that we're not afraid of her. That's all Ellie wants.
Is that the truth? That we're not afraid?
The event that brings them back has a bonding effect, but also an alienating effect, because it is forcing them to deal with unresolved issues.
I think they'll always be a little emotionally damaged. I mean, how could you not be? But I think they really think that things are over for good, and then it all just sort of starts over again.
It's happening again. All the girls went to different places, and they're coming back still with their own individual style.
The girls were instrumental in deciding what their 5-year post-Rosewood look would be.
You can tell by the way that the girls carry themselves that they're just more mature and older, and I think in that way it carries the clothes differently than we saw them before.
It's cool to see how every character's changed. I know for Allison, I didn't really expect her to be a teacher in Rosewood.
Allison's trying to figure out how to be a grown-up, and that's tough for her because she lost a lot of time in which she wasn't even allowed to be a kid.
We had basically a whole closet change. Literally, that's what they call it, when they totally get rid of everything that we've been wearing for, 5 years. My hair definitely got blonder and longer, and now we're kind of making it like a medium length, basically what Allison started off as in the beginning of the show, which I think makes sense for her because she never got that time to be normal.
Aria, who very often you had to read her clothes because there's a lot of stuff printed all over them. There's still some of that, but there are fewer words, and she's chosen her language better.
Aria actually cut her hair and lightened it, and, is traveling in a world of authors, and I mean, she needs to be taken seriously because she's petite.
Where we pick up in 6B, Aria is dating a guy named Liam, but I still think there's underlying feelings for Ezra. I mean, I think there always will be.
Emily comes back strong but damaged. She suffered great loss with the loss of her father, and she really hasn't recovered from that when we first see her.
Emily, I think, really embraced California. She embraces a kind of casualness. It's reminiscent of how she looked a little bit around Rosewood, but it's a little bit more put together.
With Emily's character, more so than the other girls, it is a lot more simple. I think there's just a lot more basics put together, structured pants and then a t-shirt or solid colors, not too much pattern like Aria would. And so I think with this look, we just wanted to mature it up a little bit.
It's interesting to look at Hannah in terms of how she changed, because actually it's really just looking down the fashion tunnel with Hannah.
Hannah's kind of been through so many phases, wardrobe-wise. But the look, I guess, is just more mature, more adult, more fashion-y. She's definitely wearing a ton of really cool designers.
Hannah is more high fashion than ever.
This hasn't even hit the stores yet. I call in a favor.
Hannah has really matured. She knows what she wants, and she's going for it without reservation or hesitation. Troyan is more sophisticated than ever. She looks amazing with her bangs and sexy and seductive, and she wears these great dresses and pencil skirts, and she looks just amazeballs.
Spencer, as always, been the most sophisticated one. She's kind of, in many ways, grown into her sophistication. She carries herself differently. Her hair is the most different. You get the sense of somebody who really wanted to be different.
They decided to do the time jump in the middle of our season. So a lot of the changes, we couldn't really invest in the changes more than haircuts or more than a different style of clothing.
Just as the liars have become more sophisticated in the 5-year break, we needed a new villain.
It's a terrible accident.
It wasn't an accident.
What?
We needed someone who had all the attributes of the previous incarnations of A: technical savvy, boldness, ruthlessness, but we needed to notch it up as well.
Now this person is taking it further than what the girls are used to.
What you'll find out as the story progresses is that we're dealing with someone who has a tremendous hunger for revenge.
Text messages start coming in again. The taunting and the harassment starts again. And so it's this whole new, new characters, new feel to the show. But A is different this time.
As much as they've grown up, so has this A.
This A is not playing a game. Like Charlotte even said it in the finale, my dolls are still alive because I love them. This A does not love the Pretty Little Liars.
It's pretty provocative regarding who's been stalking them and who actually is the killer.
We live to confuse you. We live to make you scream as you're watching your television set.
I think season 7 is going to be really fun. I know that there's a lot in store for the fans and for us, and I'm totally ready for it.
It's exciting, it's dangerous, it's sexy, it's edgy, it's very grown up.
Everything we've done up until now is prelude. We're going to go beyond. We're going to go further.
You'll be very satisfied.